What's going on, G's? It is David here. We are back with another video. Now, in this video, guys, we're going to be doing a 2021-2022 season predictions video. Now, I used to do these, I think, about a year or two ago, and they were probably some of my most popular videos, so why not? The schedules for the 2021-2022 college football seasons are out. So I felt it's no better to start with my favorite team, the Florida Gators. Yes, we have lost Kyle Pitts. Yes, we have lost Kyle Trask. Yes, we have lost Trayvon Grimes. Yes, we have lost Kadarius Toney. But I think we're actually still going to be a decent competitor considering we didn't really lose anyone that big on the defense. And the defense was probably the biggest problem for Florida. So I think considering the fact that the defense is growing and not only that, the quarterback that we have now that's going to be a starting quarterback, Emory Jones, he did get a couple games this season, and in the games that he played, he looked really, I'm not going to say he looked like Trevor Lawrence good, but he looked decent, in fact. So without any shadow of doubt, let's get into the start of the Florida Gators 2021 season predictions. Now, the first game of the season will be taking place at home against FAU, the Florida Atlantic University Hawks. Now, I mean, considering the two differences between these two Florida teams, this is going to be a W for Florida. We're going to start off 1-0 for the season. Next game is going to be at USF, the University of Southern Florida Bulls, against Charlie Strong, who I think is still the head coach for the University of South Florida. And this one is going to be another W because USF doesn't really compare to the University of Florida, especially when it comes to the football team. Maybe in other things they compare to Florida, but not in football. So the University of Florida Gators are going to be starting off the season 2-0. And then we get into the interesting times. The Florida Gators' next game is going to be at home, and it's going to be a rematch of the SEC championship game against Alabama. Now, Alabama, of course, is losing. They've lost a lot of their good wide receivers. They lost Matt Jones, their quarterback. But Alabama always produces talent, so they're still going to be good next year. And I'd probably say they're going to go undefeated next year, even if they lost some of their wide receivers. They still have wide receivers that are probably going to go first round next year. So this game against Alabama, I mean, considering we lost a lot of offensive weapons and we didn't lose that much defensive weapons, if our defense can really improve from last season to this season, then we may stand a chance. But unfortunately for not, I think Florida is going to lose against Alabama in the 2021 season. But then we pick right back up and get another win at Tennessee. At SEC rival, we're going to get another win. Then we're going to go back-to-back, pick up another win against Kentucky at Kentucky. I don't really think Kentucky's going to be all that good when it comes to the season. And considering, like I continue to say this, Florida really, even though we lost offensive weapons, there's still weapons that can possibly grow into like good weapons as probably as good as Kyle Pitts was for us. That could possibly be like that for us in terms of this season. So we're gonna pick up the win. We're gonna beat Kentucky at Kentucky, and then we're gonna go against another division rival in Vanderbilt. And we're gonna go keep going undefeated since the Alabama game, and we're gonna beat Vanderbilt. And then it's another interesting one because the 7th game of the season before we get into the bye is gonna be away at LSU at Baton Rouge. And if you guys do remember, LSU was really the one team that cost us from getting in that Final Four. I mean, we didn't beat Alabama, but if we never really had a shot at making the college football playoffs since we lost LSU, and that loss was such a disappointing one. And the way we lost it because one of the guys, when they were celebrating, they threw somebody's shoe, and the referees gave a penalty for that. It gave a 5-yard penalty for that, and LSU was able to get some yards and then take a field goal and make a field goal, and that's how they ended up winning that game. But this time, I think Florida gets its revenge. LSU just lost its best wide receiver in Jamar Chase. Yes, they still have their best quarterback in Derek Stingley Jr., but they just lost their best wide receiver to the Cincinnati Bengals. They lost Terrence Marshall too, another good wide receiver. So I don't really know when it comes to LSU offense how good they're going to be. So this is why I think Florida's going to win, because I think Florida's going to have the better defense in terms of all around, better than LSU. But I know it's going to be a close game, but Florida is going to end up winning this game, and they're going to end up beating LSU. And then coming off the bye, the next game coming off the bye is actually going to be in Jacksonville, and it's going to be against the Georgia Bulldogs, a division SEC rival. And I want to give Florida a win, considering we beat Georgia last season. But Georgia is going to be a better team than they were last season. JT Daniels, towards the end of the season, was playing really, really good. And considering the fact that Georgia didn't really have any weapons or defensive weapons that they lost in the draft, Georgia's going to be a really very good team. So I'm going to say Florida's going to pick up their second loss, and that's going to knock us out of the college football playoff hopes. Because if you get 2 losses in the season, you're definitely not going to be making it into the college football playoffs. So unfortunately for Florida, we will not be making it after we get our second loss against Georgia. But at least the next few games of the season, we'll be closing them out with wins. We're going to end up beating South Carolina because I mean, in my honest opinion, Florida is a better overall team than South Carolina is. Then we're going to play against Samford. I mean, Samford, I wouldn't be surprised if we blow Samford out in this game, because Samford is a SAP team. It's basically like Barcelona playing someone from the 4th tier in the English league. It's like Barcelona playing Barrow FC. That's going to be a smashing. So yeah, Florida's going to beat Samford. Then we're going to be playing against Missouri, a SEC rival. Missouri's not on Florida's level as of yet, but Florida's going to end up picking up the win against Missouri. And then here's another interesting one. Closing out the season, it's going to be rivalry week. It's going to be Florida against Florida State, and it's going to be at Ben Griffin Stadium in Florida. And I don't really think Florida State's on the Florida Gators level yet, but I think they will eventually get to there. I think next season Florida State will probably be on that level, but Florida State's still working up after the past 2 seasons. They've really kind of been they've been bad the last 2 seasons. So unfortunately for Florida State, they will not end up beating Florida in this game, and that means through the season, Florida's record will end up being 10-2. Their record in 2020 was 8-2, because remember, we didn't play 2 extra games. Wait, actually, hold on, sorry. We didn't. Wait, actually, no, I'm right, because 10-2. Yeah, we didn't play 2 games in 2020, so we had an 8-2 record, and we're gonna pick up 2 extra wins in this one. But we're gonna continue having, we're gonna continue with this, not having. I mean, we're gonna have a good defense, because Elam, the guy on defense, is gonna be decent. So I think Florida's defense is gonna be really, really good. But from an 8-2 to 10-2 record, I still think Dan Mullen should still be the head coach after this. I mean, if he still is getting winning season with the University of Florida, then there's no reason to fire him. So unfortunately for Florida, we'll not be making the college football playoffs, but I think we'll definitely have a good chance of making the college football. Not the college football, the SEC championship game, probably against Alabama again. And who knows? We may actually beat Alabama during the season, then lose to them in the SEC championship game. If that happens, I wouldn't be upset, because technically we can still beat Alabama. If it happens the other way around, where we lose against Alabama during the season, but then end up beating them in the in the SEC championship game, I'd love that too. As long as if we do end up playing Alabama twice, one during the season and one in the SEC championship game, if we win any one of those, I will be fine. 10-2 is not a bad record. At least it's a winning record, and we're still building up. And Emory Jones, I think he's going into his junior season this year, this upcoming season. So I don't really think he's going to be going to a draft, and I wouldn't want him going to a draft, because if he does play really, really good, he's kind of a mobile quarterback. So that's kind of really something that I very much like about him. And I think the running game for Florida is definitely probably one of the baddest things that we had last season. So I think that's gonna be it's gonna be proven, because a lot of the running game that we had last season was like freshmen or sophomores. So they're gonna have more experience. They're most likely going to be better when it comes to the season. So I like Florida's chances going to the 2022 season. So watch out in 2022 for Florida, because when I do my 2022 season predictions, I'll probably have Florida going undefeated based off of how 2021 went. Hopefully 2021 season goes good, But in terms of Florida's record, 2020 was 8-2, 2021 is 10-2, and that it concludes my season predictions for the University of Florida Gators. Now, when it comes to my next football predictions for college football, my next one will be the University of Miami Hurricanes, and that will be coming out in a couple of days. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification so you know my videos go live. But anyway, guys, I will see you guys all later. Peace.